Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is me going Q4 of the weekly contest 467 number of stable subsequences. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on Discord, let me know what you think about this one. Honestly, I didn't really think that much of this one. Let me know in the comments what you think. But this, by today's standards, which is kind of crazy to think about, honestly, is not a difficult dynamic programming. I'm surprised this is hard, but it is a contest of 2 Yeezys, so I'm not sure how to interpret it. But this is a standard subsequence counting type dynamic programming. So the only and n is 10 to the 5th. But there's a very basic dimension to it, right? Meaning that it's either for this one, there's only 3 things, which is the index, the number we're processing, whether the last number added to the thing is odd and even, because we don't care about what the previous numbers are, or how we only care about whether they're odd and even, so that we could either continue the streak or not, and well, the streak, because we have to keep it under 3 numbers, right? And that's it. And as we do that, then it's just everything. I mean, this code is not clean. It's very ugly, and you could probably fix this to clean it up. There is some like dupes here, and you can do some things, right? And we'll do some things, but my point is still that it still took me only 4 or 5 minutes. It is that basically you just case enumeration, right? Go for every examples and try to do the best you can of, okay, well, given these 3 things, we just do a tick no tick, right? And what I mean by that is that no tick, we do not take the current element, and then and that's just a skip, right? We go to the next index, nothing else changed about it, so it's a skip. And then tick is, okay, now we tick, what happens? And you just go through all the cases, and that's it. At the end, there's one sequence, because there's one sequence where it is the no sequence, if you will. I don't know. We tick, what happens? Well, if it's even, you break through the cases. If it's odd, you go through the cases. Like I said, you can make this like very clean, but I don't know if I intentionally did it for educational reasons, but I did it anyway because I was like, I don't want to think about weird, like I don't want to prematurely clean up my code during the contest, right? And I did it under 5 minutes, so yeah. And that's it. And then we just kind of kick it off with index is 0 to 0. The streak being 0 means that it doesn't matter what this is, because streak will never be 0 again after this. Well, that's not true, but I just mean like as soon as you take a number, it'll never be 0, because I guess you can skip the first x or whatever, and it'll be streak will be 0, and then that's it. Yeah. The -1 is for everything being empty. We still count it, so you could subtract 1 from there. Mod, and we are good. You could, like I said, you could definitely clean this up, right? You can maybe write something like total f of index plus 1. Maybe you write something like 2 is equal to not odd, right? Which is maybe we can write this way, right? If it's equal to 1. So if this is the case, then then it is just exactly the same. So then you could write so then streak continues, right? So you can write something like this. You can write odd and then streak plus 1, assuming that streak plus 1 is less than 3, right? And then otherwise, new streak, then write right? And then this is now index mod 2 is equal to 1. Whether this is now, we take it, right? And now the number is the new last number, so we see if it's odd. And this is always going to be 1, because if it streak continued, we would have added it previously. And that's it. So you have simplified it like this, and it'll be okay, probably. Let me double check and not lying to you, and you submit. Because sometimes refactoring, I mean, it's good, but definitely very possible to make silly mistakes. So yeah, in the refactoring. But that's it, right? That's all I have for this one. I think for, you could clean it up, and yeah, keep in mind that this has to be inside, because otherwise the else is a little bit awkward. But yeah, so what's the complexity, right? Index goes from 0 to n. Odd is well, 2 values. Streak goes to 0, 1, or 2 because it cannot go to 3, right? As we, and even 0 is not. I guess it happens enough, but with 0, this can only be odd just because that's the way that we define it. In any case, it doesn't matter, right? So this 2 times 3 times n is going to be 6 times n, and that is going to, and each of these, so yeah, number of inputs is equal to 6 times n or whatever, right? So O of n, and each input does O of 1 work. So then the total time complexity, total work, is equal to O of n times 1, which is O of n. And that's it. Excuse me, sorry. That's all I have for this one. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. And yeah, try to make it small enough to fit in. Maybe this is good enough. And yeah, and you can watch me solve it live in the contest next. I spent too much time on that one because I thought it would be something crazier. Let's do it. Number of stable subsequence. A subsequence is stable but does not contain 3 considered with the same parity when the sequence. What? There's so much bold words, but I don't know why parity not bold. Does not contain 3 consecutive elements with the same parity when the subsequence is read in order. So consecutive. Okay, we turn the number to the mod. Mod. Okay. 1 right. So okay. So it's just DP probably, but what am I talking about? Right. Yeah. Okay. So then it is just DP, right? I've been calling things F lately, but okay. So you have index, you have odd even, boolean, and then you have streak, right? And that's it. F of 0, -1, 0, okay, whatever. Right, and then basically now we have index is equal to n, and we return 1, maybe. Otherwise, yeah, we can take no tick, right? So total is equal to 0, kind of. This is actually debatable, so we can actually end now, but is it a no tick? I guess you just no tick all the way. I don't know. Maybe that's price then. Index +1, no tick. So we don't tick, so we keep the same oddness. And then streak, it is the same streak, right? Okay. And then otherwise we tick. If num sub index mod2 is equal to 0, then now how do I want to write it? Okay, so if it's even, if odd is true, technically I think it's this. If odd is true, then we just I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know if this should be true or false. It doesn't really matter because I think the streak is 0, but it's still a little bit awkward the way I phrased it. Okay, so odd is true. Then now odd is equal to that means that we skip to the next one. Odd is now not true, so it's gonna be false, and then streak rep 1 because we continue a streak. Else then it's still gonna be false, but then it's streak +1, right? Does not contain 3 consecutive. So there's just like else if streak +1 it's less than 3, right? And then same. I mean, you could probably simplify this, but I did not, right? So now this is odd. So if this is not odd, then we still make it even. This is no, we make it odd because this is odd. I forget. So if it's not odd, you make it odd, but now you make it 1. Otherwise, you make it. And then that's it, I think. 7:15. Okay, we're wrong, But I think that's because we just have to -1 for the empty string case. YOLO submit. Well, not empty string, empty subsequence. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me in Discord. Let me know what you think about this problem, this contest, everything in between. Stay good, stay healthy to get good mental health. I'll see y'all later and take care. Bye-bye.